Everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. This is a video about CQB. I've seen so many times where people are teaching in technical classes and other things the SWAT mentality, maybe the Army mentality of teams stacking up on the door, kicking the door in, and entering the room, dynamic entry, and it's all about force and overwhelming violence of action. That is one way of doing it, but I want you guys to think about it. We're preppers. We're not military forces. So that is a good way to get casualties. Alright? So I want you guys to think about another way to do it. Instead of thinking that you're just going to kick in the door and go in violence of action, which does have its place, I'm not knocking it, think about fighting from the door. Okay? Because in an SHF scenario, we can't afford casualties. We don't have medical facilities like the military has or law enforcement has to do these things and to send these guys to the hospital if they get injured. We also may not have the same level of body armor or protection as these forces do. So what I recommend doing, what I prefer doing in most situations, sometimes you got to do dynamic entry like that, but in most situations what you can do is say this is a doorway here, say there's a door. Alright, or even a corner. Instead of sitting here like this and going around the corner and fighting around the corner and stuff like that on the move all the time, that constant overwhelming, the violence of action. What you're talking about is you want to go in there like, so much violence and so much force and overwhelming these guys just running all over the place and stuff like that. The bad guys, the enemy, is just like, oh shoot, they're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with the violence, which works great. But what I suggest is instead of running around the corner, say here's the doorway. Okay, what you do is you approach the doorway and you see anything you can engage from the doorway. You can sit there and you can look at the whole room and you can slowly slice the pie and engage the whole room. No matter which way you're coming from, you can engage the whole room from outside the doorway. And you can do it in teams or you can do it individually. But, and this isn't a very good example, sorry, of how you can do this. I don't have, like a CQB course position right here where I'm filming. So, but what I'm talking about is instead of running in there, have guys, on the doors against the wall, bust the door, have your door kicker, kick in the door, move out of the way, okay, or open the door, whatever, however you get in the door. And then have these two guys kind of slowly, here I'll move it like this so you can see it. See, the doorway's here like they're going in. And have them slowly come around like this. So you're sitting there and you're going like this, and they're slowly going like that, and so they're covering, they come to the middle, they've covered the whole room, okay, because this guy is looking over here in this side of the room as he's coming around. This guy over here is looking in this side of the room as he's coming around. Have them slowly come around like that. It's the same thing as slicing the pie, any kind of CQB, that's total basics. That's nothing new here. But instead of running in and creating that situation where you might get casualties, you might get shot, you can sit there and do it from outside the doorway where you're a lot more safe because you're not entering into that zone. And it may have booby traps, stuff like that you got to look for also. There's a lot of other stuff to it. But think about it this way, guys, in your training. Don't always just rush in because it's cool, because that's what SWAT does and that's what they do in Hollywood on TV. Fight from outside the room. Take out as many people as you can from outside the room if you're in this situation. You don't want to go in there until you've mitigated as many threats as possible. You're still going to have to go in, sure, but do it like this. It may be a much better option. I'm not saying it's the only option. I'm not saying it's the option in all situations. But have this in the back of your mind. Train on it as an option. So, I love you guys. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and comment below. Let me know if you guys train on this or not. And what you think are the positives and negatives of dynamic entry, meaning violence of action entry, or doing it this way, fighting from outside the door. There's pluses and minuses, I know, but let's have a conversation about it. I think it's a good thing people need to think about, and people need to train on. So I love you guys, and oh yeah, we do a lot of this stuff over on Patreon, a lot of cool stuff like this. So in fact, this may be a Patreon video. I haven't decided yet. Depends. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.